The University Tower chimes ring in another session of Ask the Professor, the show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. I'm your host, Matt Mayo, and let me introduce to you our panel for today. To my left, it's Professor Dave Chow.
Pleasure to be here, as always.
What's going on?
Nothing much, just working like a fiend.
Working like a fiend. Can you give us an idea of your most recent project?
Ooh, what have I done recently? I did an editorial cartoon for a magazine on the history of corruption.
Ooh.
I haven't read the article, but I did the artwork, so
That's cool.
it's work.
That's very cool.
So I'm following it up with something else. So we're just waiting for the writer.
Okay.
So it's work.
Very nice. How long does it take you to do something like that?
I had 12 hours to do that last one.
Oh my gosh.
6 illustrations. Color.
Okay.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. That's incredible.
It's a little.
You are a freelance fiend, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
We try not to use the word free too much. That's all.
You are a lance.
Yes.
You are
yes.
a lancer.
For hire.
Professor Mara Livesey is here. We've already talked about how you survived Dead Week, but what's on the slate for exam week? You only have one exam?
Yeah, that's right, because the lab, the last time ever, is a 2-credit lab. So I have one exam on Thursday, and, I hope that fewer than half my students end up taking it, because hopefully many say, I like the grade as it is, so I don't need to take one more exam.
That's very nice.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's great. That is fantastic. And that will mean a minimum amount of grading at a very
Yes.
stressful time of year, etc.
Absolutely.
That's just
The
wonderful.
Venmo exchanges and the wine gifts are brought to a minimal, that's all.
On the other side of the coin, Professor Prasad Venugopal is here, and he is plotting what cartoon probably to put on the cover of his final.
That is correct, and I actually found one from a couple of Sundays ago. Maybe it was the last Sunday?
Found one?
Is this the one you already showed me? for
Yeah,
your
that's the
final?
one I showed you. Zitz, I think it was.
You couldn't hire out?
I could hire
Hey.
out. That's a wonderful idea.
I can
Do you know
customize-
anyone I could
No,
hire?
a talented person, no. A good one, no, not at all.
Can I just say, on a different note, that I want to give a shout out to my kids who have clearly never heard this show, because everybody wins all the
Savages.
time. Particularly the listeners, right? They win all the time. There are no snacks here for me to bring because everybody here is eating them. And to my dear daughter, I would say there will not be dirt on the Venugopal name as long as it's mine. They'll never hear this since they don't listen to the show anyway.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
too darn bad.
I love
Should we tell them about the car giveaways?
So all of their questions are
Oh.
answered and they won't even know it.
That's correct. That's
it.
right.
Maybe you should get them to listen to the
Yeah.
show.
If there was a car giveaway, my son would be on because he's about to get his driver's license.
Oh, dear
It's a
Lord.
big deal. Big deal. Someone who also has a driver's license, Professor Jim Tice.
Nice segue.
Very
Have
nice.
had one for way too long.
For now.
Do you have a car
Model
to
T.
give away?
Don't you have 2 cars?
I did, but I don't anymore.
Okay.
Okay. How's it going, Jim?
Good. How about you?
Excellent. Just peachy keen. I don't know if I ever stopped moving today.
Oh.
It's just fun, I mean, it's actually fun to be busy, and the students are doing the thing where they're sort of, if you forgive the phrase, all a Twitter in the hallway, and it's nice. And then it just disappears within a week. It's just gone.
There's one kind of downside about retirement because some days you feel like, well, where do I need to be? Well, nowhere really.
Yep.
Anywhere you want.
You know what? That happens to me on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like, where do I need to be? Like, oh.
In my classroom. Oops.
Oh gosh. A bridge over to the other retired side of the table. Professor Stephen Manning is here with us. Hello. Oh my gosh. Do you ever get a feeling at a certain time of day that you should be somewhere?
That I should be
Be somewhere.
rarely.
Okay.
I mean, there are lots of places I go, but I have on a weekly basis, I have one committed thing, one thing I've committed to that's on a day and a time.
And it's not cleaning the bathroom.
And it's parole.
And it's my,
Shots
my
fired.
Thursday piano lesson.
Oh, sure. That's right.
My
You
Thursday
mentioned it.
piano lesson.
nice.
And an interesting thing about the time is it's 12:30 to 1:20, so it's like a 50-minute class. which of course I'm used to because I used to teach them.
Absolutely.
But that's the other than that, that's the only commitment I really have. Other than that, you know, it's
It's pretty nice.
That's the life.
So are those piano lessons going well, or should we call it the dead hour?
they're going pretty well. Actually, we're gearing up for the teacher likes to have recitals at the end of the thing.
Ooh,
Oh,
can we
nice.
Yeah,
can we
the
come and listen to you?
Christmas-
Which Chopin
Recital.
Polonaise are you
Yes.
doing?
Please invite us.
Yeah.
And Heather went to one. They wouldn't allow people in during pandemic stuff, and
Yeah.
we actually didn't have the class for a while during the pandemic. But even after that, they didn't want people coming in. But now they do. So we're in the process of picking our tunes, and there may be some.
This sounds
There
very
may be-
Tomorrow we can bring unripened fruit. Oh.
There may be some solo work.
nice.
Really?
And a few weeks ago, my older brother, the one in Phoenix, his birthday is April 8th, so we called him on the phone, and I played on the piano Happy Birthday, and Heather sang Happy Birthday to him.
Oh.
And he
Very
said,
cool.
typical of him, he said, "Oh, thank you. I think you only missed 2 notes."
Oh, jeez.
It just brings a tear to the eye,
Sibling
it's not to the
rivalry.
nose.
Welcome to my world.
Yes.
Do we have to just do like a video with you in flames coming out of the piano or something like that? And, you know, Jerry Lee Lewis it up a little bit.
Very cool, though. You've told me
Yeah.
about your piano lessons.
Yeah,
so
no, it's
that
good,
sounds
and
great.
it's going on
Very good.
a couple years. I think I
Jim,
got
you
that.
finally accompanied him on the
I
triangle.
think I got that the first
Yes.
year I retired, didn't
Yeah.
I? So,
Okay.
you know, it'll be
Nice.
3
Very
years
nice.
this summer, and so
Nice.
I've been taking lessons.
You got
for
Triangle
10
and
years.
Cowbell here to join you if you need one. So.
Now I'm
It's
thinking we need to hear Professor Heather Hill sing sometime.
No, no.
Come on, come on.
Alright,
We
happy
have Matt doing
birthday.
it.
Nuh-uh. Maybe sometime.
Oh, okay.
I'm,
There you go.
I'm kind of out of. The last time I really sang was when I was in the play a few years
Oh,
ago.
that's right.
And I worked on it,
hmm
but
Is that the It's a Wonderful Life when you were in that play?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I thought.
yeah. But the dog sings along too.
I'm
Oh,
sure.
that's sweet.
What, is that singing or is that howling?
It's more like
howling.
howling,
Oh.
singing, but I've captured him on video a few times.
You know, you start with your thumb on middle C, and you're there. You're here, 5 things, and you start. But then you take more lessons. You start going. Anytime I go up to the right,
Uh-huh.
which is higher things, he doesn't like that. It affects his ears.
Oh,
I can
poor
be.
baby.
I don't have to be way up here. Just I'm up 1 octave, right?
And the dog freaks
And
out.
he.
So-
it's
so
like
what-
he's in pain. It's
So what's going to
agony.
happen like when you pull your right foot up and start playing the keys with your right foot?
And no, he's got the whole,
Jerry
he has the run of
Lewis.
the house. We don't restrict him. He,
Oh.
he can go in the basement. He can go upstairs. He can go in the bath. You know, anyway, he insists on right there. The piano's in the living room, and he's right there by the piano. And he does this. Like, go in another room. you
Call
know?
an Uber. Get away from it all.
And if I don't concentrate when I'm playing, it gets. I have to concentrate, and he starts in. And it's hard to concentrate listening to him. So.
Oh, it's torture.
I thought of you the other day, Heather, because there was a cute little internet vid where the husky in some just monstrous cone, you know, the don't chew on things cone,
Yeah.
was begging for treats by sort of arooing, and clearly was teaching the toddler next to the dog to also make the aroo sound when he wanted like a cracker or something
Yeah.
like that. They were kind
Yeah.
of doing it together.
That's a good way to.
Thought that was cute.
Yeah, that's good. A ruing. I like that. A ruing. A ruing.
Well, folks, this is a program you could send us questions regarding anything. It's been a while since we've had any on Onomatopoeia. If you stump the panel, you win a prize. If you don't stump the panel, you win a prize. You can send us the questions in a number of ways, emailing us at atp@udmercy.edu. Find us on Facebook and Instagram, or listen on your favorite smart speaker by asking it to play Ask the Professor at University of Detroit Mercy. A new set of questions here, Profs. Dear professors, I hope this email finds the professors well. Certainly at the end of the term, that's pretty good chances. Below are 15 questions I came up with and hope are challenging for the group. As always, thank you for reading my questions on the air and allowing me to be a part of your show. Sincerely, Beverly Hollis of Redmond, Washington, longtime question sender.
Thank you,
Beverly
Beverly.
Hollis. So thanks for these. Kind of all over the map, but that's what makes it fun. What cartoon character made her debut in a film called Dizzy Dishes in 1930?
Betty,
Betty
Boop.
Boop.
Betty Boop,
Boop
yeah.
is correct. Yes, some good context clues there. What's the longest suspension bridge in the Western Hemisphere? Clocks in at 23,372 feet.
Golden Gate
Is that
Bridge?
the Mighty Mac?
Is that
It's the Mackinac
Oh, it's
Bridge.
the Mackinac.
Yes, the longest suspension bridge. Someone in my wife's family brought up the little Yugo during the 80s that blew
It blew
off.
off.
Oh.
I was just like, oh God, that's such a horrific story. Like, never bring that up.
That was
ever
not long
again.
after I moved here.
Was it?
Yes, and I thought,
I was going to say, right after you bought your Yugo?
And
No, I
I've
didn't
heard
have a
that
Yugo.
story, and it's true, right?
Oh, it's
It's
100%
not
yeah,
made up.
it really happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's longer than the Golden Gate Bridge?
Scary.
It is
Yeah,
longer
yeah.
than Golden Gate.
The Mackinac Bridge is?
That's a
in the
long
Western
It is very
drive.
long, yeah.
Is the Pontchartrain Causeway suspension? No, it's not.
It's not suspension, no.
No.
Yeah, see, that's
Yeah.
piles or whatever they call them,
Yeah.
right? When they drill into the
Yeah,
earth.
yeah, yeah.
It's a good one to have in your back pocket. Who was the last president who had facial hair when he was in office? That's hard.
Buchanan.
It doesn't say that.
No, Lincoln was after him and Grant was after him and let me
Johnson.
think, it would go back to.
Who's the guy with the big whiskers?
Wilson.
What, you're thinking Van
I
Buren?
think
Yeah.
it's a good sideburns.
Van Buren, yes.
Van Buren?
No, that's not what it
No,
says here.
no, William Henry Harrison, I mean, excuse me, Benjamin Harrison,
No, no.
Rutherford B. Hayes.
Yeah, we're naming all the ones with beards and mustaches. That's for sure.
Eleanor Roosevelt? Oh, no. Sorry.
No.
Because I can't think any in the 20th century.
awful.
I am.
You're just
I mean,
terrible.
I could give it away, I think, with one clue, but the connection to the facial hair is a little tough. What if I said bathtub?
Oh,
Taft.
Taft.
Oh, that's right, yeah, he
William
did.
Taft.
He did.
Kind of interesting. Why
He had a big mustache.
none in the modern era have had facial hair? None of the men.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
was just totally thinking of beards. Just,
Mhm, I was too.
Well, that being said, have there been any candidates with beards and mustaches even?
Oh my gosh.
That's a good
No,
question.
not really.
Yes, Ted
Ooh.
Cruz.
Oh well.
God, that's
Well,
rough.
but his is
Wow.
kind of fakey.
Serious candidates. There, I said. it.
Yeah, oh,
And serious facial hair.
Serious facial
yeah, I was gonna say, that's scruff. I mean,
Oh,
that
man.
20 grit face? Oh,
Yeah. List 8 out of 10 of the cities that appeared on the signpost seen in the middle of the MASH TV show compound.
Honolulu,
San Francisco.
Toledo,
Seoul,
Toledo, yes.
Death Valley.
San
Crab-
Francisco, was that one?
Crabapple Cove.
I've got so far San Francisco, we've already heard, Death Valley, Toledo, Honolulu,
Seoul?
Seoul.
New York?
New York is not on the list.
Tokyo?
Tokyo is on the list.
Good one.
Um,
LA?
Yes, but not LA, where a lot of TVs and movies are made around LA.
Hollywood?
Burbank.
Burbank.
Oh,
it says,
Burbank.
yes.
How many
We're
more
getting
do we need?
really close. So you
Chicago?
need to
No.
3.
New
You
York?
need to get at least one more of the remaining 3, and New York is not on the list.
any international ones?
No, they're all 3 in America. One is a little podunk town in Illinois. One is actually
Joliet.
Is it Kankakee?
nice.
Maybe.
Actually, I mean it's close to Kankakee because
Peoria?
in the first couple iterations of the show, the commanding officer, I never watched the
Oh,
show.
what was-
help me out. He went to Illinois and he would whistle the Fighting Illini
Henry
all
Blake.
the time. Thank you. Decatur, Illinois.
Decatur.
is one of the ones that are
Decatur,
there.
okay.
The 2 that you missed are Boston. This is kind of random, and Coney Island is one of the other signs. Also, just to know, there are 11 signs on that post,
Oh.
but only 10 cities because Seoul was listed twice, going in one direction and in the other direction. So there's a little joke
Was one
for
of
you
the,
there.
was one of the main doctors, did he practice in Boston? That's
Yeah,
Charles Emerson
Charles Emerson
Yeah,
Winchester.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, there you
The
go.
third.
The
The
third.
third.
The third.
You have to say it with your teeth clenched.
Like Thurston Howell.
The third. Why is it always the third?
I don't know.
Pardon me?
For fun.
Oh, okay.
Indicate ancestry.
What band had albums titled Unusual Heat, Agent Provocateur, and Double Vision? That's the giveaway right there.
Oh, was it Glenn, not Glenn Fry's group,
Not Blondie,
not Styx, REO Speedwagon. Oh,
Did you list the albums again?
Double Vision.
Yeah, I
Double
remember the
Vision.
song.
Agent
See, you got Matt singing
Provocateur
there. Oh.
and Unusual Heat. That's a weird name, by the way.
Yeah.
Double Vision. Foreigner.
Foreigner is
Foreigner,
correct.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
Wow.
nice.
Oh,
Good
nice.
job.
Out of nowhere. That's awesome.
I had my Columbia House.
Who is still
Oh
touring.
my God, yes, I
Yeah,
remember.
but
those.
how many of the original members are even there? There's the Sons of Foreigner. I mean,
Sons, yeah.
Sons of Foreigner. You referred to the Columbia
Or
Record
foreigners,
House thing? Yeah.
foreigners no
For a
more.
penny.
Foreigners no more.
The first 12 for 1 cent.
For a penny, yeah.
What is
Then
the
you're
name
locked
of the oldest bank in the United States?
State Street Bank.
Well, that's not what it says.
Ye old bank.
Yeah.
Ye old bank.
No, that's the church.
Oldest bank.
1784.
It'd have some valley name, like Carl Valley Bank. Or something.
No,
Or,
but
or
I
like
mean, you're,
Plymouth
you're
Rock Bank and Trust or
Like
something.
Her
like
Majesty's.
It's a Vanderbilt or
HMS.
Yeah.
Oldest bank, huh?
No, that was
Western
older than
Union.
them.
no, it's not Western Union either.
Is it New York, New England?
It has New York in the title. Mm-hmm.
Credit Union 1.
New York
Bank of New York.
New York
State
Mercantile Bank.
Bank.
I'm going to give it to Jim with Bank of New York. It's the Bank of New York Mellon is what it's called because it was founded by Thomas Mellon, Aaron Burr, and his very good friend Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah, dear
Yeah, they were
friend.
close friends.
So
I wonder what interest would have been gained from
yes.
Prior to the duel.
Prior, yes.
After which it became the Bank of New York.
Well,
Bittermelon.
Alexander was not an
Yeah.
active partner after the duel.
What are we talking about when we're talking about Amora, Idun or Idun, and Plockman?
Plockman.
Amora, Idun, and Plockman.
Plockman's a mustard.
They are mustard brands.
There you
Oh,
go.
correct.
Oh.
Yep.
Wow.
I've never
Yeah,
heard the
no,
other two.
Plockman's the little yellow.
It's brownish.
barrel one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
brownish
That
mustard.
is a amazingly obscure thing to just whip right out.
I happen to be 2 blocks away from Westbourne Market.
No, that's
Fantastic
true.
job,
Red
Baker.
Pelican.
Yeah,
He's
exa-
accept
exact-
nothing less.
He's about 2
Yeah,
blocks
Red
away
Pelican.
too.
And
Did
you
know
browse
that?
the mustard aisles
I
on
do.
a regular basis.
Somebody once wrote, and I was about to say a scholarly article, that would be pushing it, an article about how Tiger Stadium used to use Red Pelican. And when they moved to Comerica Park, the Red Pelican people were like, we know you're going to carry us too. And they're like, we're going for the crap. And it's really sad.
Wow.
And so there is a group of people who have, I never remember the name, the Something Something Society.
What the
And they
what, the
smuggle
Sons of
Red Pelican.
There
into
is
the-
always a something society.
into the park so they can have Red Pelican on a Tiger's hot dog. Oh. Good mustard. I never thought I'd be a mustard person, but I am. Where was Tom Brady born?
California.
San Francisco.
I'm giving it to you. It was San Mateo,
San
but
Mateo.
it's right
San
outside
Francisco.
of San Francisco. Yeah. So I saw a headline that he's coming back again.
For
What?
what?
I don't know.
To
He's
play?
going to the Dolphins. I don't know.
What?
I
Just retire already.
Yeah, really, go away.
I liked him when he was
Well,
at Michigan.
why shouldn't he?
Because he's going to make just as much money in the
Because
broadcast.
we don't
booth.
like him anymore.
He's
Because
making,
we don't like him.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
There's a bunch of 80-year-old women who went to see him.
Oh, that's right. He
Yes,
made a movie
yes,
about
yeah.
it.
That movie was
Yeah.
a hit too.
Yep.
Okay.
Haven't really seen this in the Metro Detroit area because we have others. But what pop was once known as, quote, the temperance drink?
The temperance drink.
Moxie.
It's not Moxie. It's a good
Oh, yeah,
guess.
Dr. Pepper.
Very good guess. It is a kind of brand of root beer, but what brand? We don't see it.
A&W.
around here.
Bars?
A&W.
No.
No.
No. Hires?
Hires root beer.
How many other root beers are there?
Never heard
There's
of
a
it.
lot.
A lot of them.
A lot of root
I can't think of it.
There's Barks, there's A&W,
Oh, Barks.
there's Hires.
Virgil's, my
This
favorite.
would be the time
Virgil's.
for a piece of trivia information, and that is that the root beer was the first drink I had in the United States after I landed in 1988.
And
What
what
do
did
you
you
think?
think of it?
Wow.
I thought it tasted like Benadryl.
That's about right.
Well, it does kind of taste like that.
It is medicinal.
Yeah.
No, what's that other
Little
drink?
cough syrupy.
Moxie?
Yeah.
Moxie's the one
Yeah,
that
that's
does.
the other one that tastes like
United
milk and
States.
magnesia.
Have you ever
I
had
guess.
sarsaparilla
Ted
tea?
Williams used to advertise that.
It's even worse. It's
Got
the base
the
for
sign
it.
in my
Ever
office.
had
That's right. Oh, that's
float?
right.
No.
Dove,
root beer
Dove
float.
vanilla ice cream.
Make mine.
Actually
is
been-
better that
yeah,
way.
No, I.
It's so good.
Once I had root beer,
Okay.
though it
You
didn't happen
stayed.
to the pizza. It was a Pizza Hut pizza
Oh, God.
and root beer.
Classic.
1988,
Wow.
end of August.
Wow.
What was the last year in the United States that cars had an option to get an 8-track player installed.
Oh, wow.
Let me go check your Ford Flex.
Let's see, 74.
We are clearly talking not
It's
the
back to
bootleg
Steven's
one.
number, so everybody gets a guess. Everybody gets a car.
You said 1974. I'm going with 1982.
I was going to say 82.
Okay.
I'm going less than that.
Come on,
86.
Mara.
69.
86, 69.
No,
Dave?
That could be later.
I'm thinking my uncle had one in his van, so 89.
83.
Wow.
Is what it is. Yeah, so 82 takes
Okay.
it. That's pretty good.
May I just declare for my son, I win.
Oh, okay. Not that he's
The
listening.
name is not besmirched.
That's right.
That's right.
His is.
Or any more.
Or
There is
less.
no dirt on it.
Any more. Any more.
None has been added.
None has been added.
Feel like this one was written for a certain member of the panel, but very specifically, why is ice hockey played in 3 periods as opposed to quarters or halves?
Oh,
Oh,
that's interesting.
Bladder retention.
beer sales. Oh,
Beer
No,
sales.
I'm
Nice
thinking-
Major League Baseball reference.
you gotta resurface the ice.
It's perfect for resurfacing the ice because it gets destroyed.
Oh,
down.
damn it, I
Yeah,
was
that
going to
makes sense.
say that.
You mean they got to get the blood off the ice?
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, but
Yeah.
I remember like there was one time they were
Gotta
doing
wash it down
a
and
shootout,
then-
and the goalie actually piled snow up on the crease to prevent the puck from going over, and they cleared it off.
They're not allowed to do that in practice anymore.
The Zamboni took care of that
Yeah.
Exactly.
between periods.
What famous American brand car model, so I could give you a clue a little bit later on, was the last that... So cars used to have a bench for the
What?
first seat.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Like
yes.
an
Front
actual
seat.
bench.
Yes.
What was the last car model made in the United States that had a
So
bench
unsafe.
for the front
Oldsmobile.
seat?
Probably a
Dodge.
Chevrolet Biscayne.
So, I mean, I love where you all are. You're in the right, like, when cars ruled the world, like, the car is 10 times bigger than this room, but you haven't said it yet.
Cadillac,
Was not a Caddy.
A Lincoln?
It was getting closer.
Ford,
It was a Ford.
Ford Maverick.
No, was it a
Galaxy.
Maverick? No, that's a good guess.
Ford,
Ford Fairlane.
Or
LTD, Ford. What was that
What-
big Ford? The long Ford.
the Continental?
For the
No, no,
longest
Lincoln. No, that's a
time,
Lincoln.
this would have been your
Crown
cop car
Vic.
of choice. Yeah, the Crown Vic.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh, the Crown Vic.
Yes, yes.
When cars ruled the world.
Police
that's the way.
Interceptor.
Police.
Yes,
Yes.
police and
Yes, yes.
Metropolitan.
When cars took 2 days to make the turn. That's
Yeah, exactly. I've got a car. It's as big as a whale, and it's about to set sail.
No, that's a Chrysler.
My dad had one of those, and I was driving it down the interstate one time, and there was a huge chunk of concrete that had fallen off the middle divider, and I couldn't avoid it. So it made this horrible noise when the front of the car hit it. But when we stopped the car, we could not find any damage.
Oh, that's so
And this
great.
pile of sand was left behind you.
Oh,
Right?
that's so great. Who was the Detroit Lions' opponent for the last game that they played at Tiger Stadium? Got a pretty good short list of teams you could guess.
Cleveland Browns,
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
Chicago Bears.
Green Bay.
Nope. Those
Pittsburgh
are all
Steelers.
those are all good guesses, but they are not correct. How about I say John Elway?
Oh,
Denver
Denver
Broncos.
Broncos.
Not because he was alive at that point, but yes, Denver Broncos. It was just a few days after I was born.
Oh.
Weird. Okay. What is the official flower of France?
France.
Fleur de lis.
The fleur-de-lis.
I mean, that's not what it says here. I
It's
feel
not
like
really
the
a
fleur-de-lis
flower,
could be.
Well, that's the official flower of Florence, Italy, but the French kind of kind
Yes.
of took it.
Okay,
to
the,
royalty.
the poppy.
It's not a poppy. That's a good guess because of the fields of poppies.
Not too.
I feel like the fleur-de-lis could be mistaken for this flower.
Forget me not.
Iris?
Oh, it's an iris. Is what it
Iris.
says.
Ah.
You know, they're very similar.
Iris.
Okay, all
Exactly.
right.
So,
Sure.
great questions. Thank you so much, Beverly. Those were fantastic. But the time has come, with the time we have left, to go into the world of Ask the Professor Imponderables.
Oh.
And I
Uh-oh.
saved this one special for today.
You can't ponder.
I won't.
You saved
Well,
it special?
Prasad really, really wanted something about movies, so that's why I saved
Oh,
it for
good.
him. Yes.
Thank
Can you give us your favorite Spielberg flick? Spielberg.
Indiana Jones.
Any given Indiana Jones? You like them all?
The first
Yeah,
one.
not the fourth.
Yeah, The Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It's not the fourth.
It is one of the greatest movies ever. I
And
gotta say.
who was from last week? Who who was tapped in to play that role?
Oh, it was
Wasn't
going to
that
be
a
Tom
question?
Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
Tom
yeah,
Selleck,
yeah.
couldn't get out of his TV
Yeah,
contract.
his
right.
his Magnum contract.
Magnum
Yeah.
PI contract.
I'm not going to say this is one of my favorites, but flipping channels last night, just trying to decompress, and I came across one that I thought held up a little better than I would have remembered, and that is Hook.
Oh, yeah, that was a good
Robin
one.
Williams.
With
Oh,
Dustin Hoffman
yeah.
as Captain
So
Hook.
good.
Oh, I like that. I don't like Julie Roberts. that
Julie
much,
Roberts
but-
is Tinkerbell.
Yeah, yikes.
I
But,
think Schindler's List would
Of
probably be
course,
my
of
favorite
course.
of his
One
movies.
of the most
Adding
important
to the
movies
session's
made.
depression,
Actually,
Well, yeah.
there's one that kind of struck me when I was a kid. It was Close
Love the music.
Encounters.
powerful, yeah.
Yes.
I really
That's-
liked
yeah,
that one.
Freaky
Which-
business right there.
Close
That was-
Encounters.
Oh, that was a great movie,
Yeah,
yes.
Close Encounters.
I think I was gonna go for. Did he make 8mm?
Mm-hmm.
The one with the kids in it.
Yep.
Did he make The Color Purple?
I believe he
He
did.
did.
I believe so. That was a
Yeah.
great one,
That was a
too.
good movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't really confine himself anymore. I mean, he just does whatever he wants. I mean, he's
Well, he
that
can.
right.
I couldn't believe how great Oprah Winfrey was in that movie.
Oh, I
Yes.
know.
Oh yeah,
right?
no. What, who was it? Was it Danny Glover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her in that movie. Yeah.
And Whoopi, I mean, Whoopi's
Well, of course,
always
yeah,
good,
yeah.
but Oprah, that was the first, movie thing
Yeah.
I had
Well,
ever
he's
seen
got a
her
new
in, and
one
she was
out
great.
now,
The
too.
Fablemans?
Yeah,
The
Yeah, the Fablemans.
I haven't
I've
seen
it.
it. I haven't seen
I
it
want
either.
It's on my list.
Yep.
Yeah, Close Encounters. I still cannot forget the scene where
He's throwing the flowers into the
living room. Yeah, they're like building
Or
the Devil's Tower.
the mashed potatoes.
The mashed potatoes was the favorite one. Yes.
I
Richard
really like.
Dreyfuss,
Yeah,
yes.
I really like Close
And
Encounters.
then he sits around
yeah.
and he uses the fork to
Yep. Yeah.
shake.
And then there's the takeoff in The Simpsons,
Simpsons,
right?
yeah.
It's
Homer's
Clown
making
College. Clown College,
Who
right?
wants to go to clown college?
Clown College? You can't eat that.
Francois Truffaut was in. Who
I
was
wasn't
Yes.
going to bring it up, but I'm so glad you did.
Thank you.
Mara, did we hear from you yet?
No, I was, Googling what films
It's okay.
were his.
Well, I was trying to remember, too.
Yeah,
that's-
Oh,
I was
yeah, of
trying
course.
to remind myself.
He's
but
made a
I mean,
lot.
I would agree that I watched Hook a lot as a kid.
Wow.
So that's a childhood favorite,
Okay.
and I remember all the entire movie. I loved it, but I saw his remake of West Side Story,
Oh.
and I thought it was gorgeous.
Really?
I thought
okay.
I thought it was beautiful. So
Huh.
I have heard that from so many people. I'm, as much as I can be, a fan of the original, but it's like nobody saw that movie. Like nobody
Yeah.
actually went out and watched
Yeah.
it. By
The,
tickets.
the new one?
The new
Yeah.
one.
Oh, I
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
like it
It's
as
on
well?
Disney now.
I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it.
You know what the original title to that movie was?
East Side Story.
Steven's remembering everything from last week.
That was one of his questions from
Oh.
last week when you weren't here.
Okay.
So that's why we're all kind
And
of.
we
Story.
we didn't answer it that quickly.
No,
They
we
didn't
didn't.
answer it that quickly. They were all over the place.
And not a biggest fan of Spielberg, but Amistad was pretty good.
Amistad.
Oh,
Oh,
Amistad was
uh-huh.
very good.
What I liked about Amistad that was not true of a lot of his other movies was there were some very raw scenes, and I've never
Oh, yeah.
associated Spielberg with being able to
Yes.
show rawness.
No, it's
He
true.
always sanitizes.
What?
things.
1941 was pretty raw. Oh.
The scenes on that slave
Yeah.
ship, just very raw. And then I thought, okay, he at least broke with his more gentle,
Family
sanitized,
friendly.
Sentimental stuff.
Right.
sentimental.
Yes.
You
Yes.
couldn't get past it.
It's amazing. Nobody said E.T.
Well,
You know,
Kind of sappy.
Yeah.
Too sappy. Okay.
It was good. It certainly drove up the sales of Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, true.
If I had to say, I brought up Hook because I saw it on TV last night, and I'm like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
wonder if this is going to be super cringy, but it actually was kind of cool.
yeah.
Robin Williams, God bless him and rest him. But if I had to say that I had a favorite, it's probably a tie between Raiders of the Lost Ark, probably the most perfect movie
Classic,
ever
yeah.
made.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And in terms of movies that I've seen multiple times in the theater
Oh, is this a
when
guilty
they came
pleasure?
out, no, not even
Oh,
a guilty
oh, okay.
pleasure. Straight up, no one said it yet. Jurassic Park.
Oh, that
The
was good.
original.
Oh.
Absolutely. Anything where it's Spielberg and John Williams coming together.
Yeah.
You know
know
what?
it's
That is,
gonna be great.
those were two outstanding films
Yes.
for pure entertainment.
Yep.
Raiders of the Lost Ark and
that's
Jurassic Park.
His joining up with John Williams though has produced such fantastic music for movies.
And Williams is still working.
Yeah.
Yep,
He has one more movie to go, the new
Yeah.
Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah,
That will
and
be
he's in his, I think he's 90 or close
Yeah.
to.
No,
Wow.
he's mid-90s, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I remember,
Yeah.
what was it,
Not
years
a
ago,
baby
there was that
boomer.
one question when we were talking about TV theme songs. Remember when he did Lost in Space and he was listed as Johnny Williams?
Yep.
When he was into the jazz thing for a bit. So.
I heard that little. I heard at one of the DSO concert. They talked about how they were such good friends, and I mean, then John Williams was so good that that whole scene in E.T. where they fly across the moon, that John Williams was trying to fit the scene,
Right.
and finally Steven Spielberg said, "You just make the music.
We'll fit the
we'll
scene."
the scene to the music."
I think that's so cool. That
as
is so
opposed
cool.
to trying to make it work
Yep.
the other way, which is what usually happens. That was very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say is, if you want to look it up, there's a fantastic little internet video from a couple of years ago where the person has whatever the lead instrument for the Jurassic Park theme is. I want to say it's an oboe. I probably have it wrong. I have no idea. And he goes to John Williams' house, raw, where John Williams lives, and goes in the front and plays the Jurassic Park theme. And then John Williams, this is not a sketch, comes to the front door. He's like, "Sounds great." It's so cool. I'm like, what made you think you could do that? You know? So anyway, the screen just went red, professors. I'm so sorry. The time has come for us to say goodbye. Heather,
Bye-bye.
Stephen,
Goodbye.
Jim,
Goodbye.
Prasad,
Bye bye.
Mara,
Goodbye.
and Dave.
See ya.
And now these words from University of Detroit Mercy.
You can email Ask the Professor at atp@udmercy.edu or visit the Ask the Professor Facebook page.
Ask the Professor is produced and directed by Michael Jason and Brian Masonville, and our executive producer is Professor Jason Roach. Until next week, I'm your host, Matt Mayo.